Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have got hundreds of events happening all over the city. Thousands of people on the streets of Belfast. Welcome to Culture Night 2017.
Come on. And Roscoe, sit.
Roscoe, tell me this, are you having a good day? First rule of television, if you want to be a television dog, look at the interviewer, not the camera. So our whirlwind tour of Culture Night continues throughout Belfast, and I'm here at the Sunflower Bar, and I've broken the first rule of television, which says never work with animals. But I'm surrounded by dogs. We'll find out why. Ciara, what's going on?
Today we are hosting a dog show. It's just a bit of fun, nothing too serious. We're going to have a round for best groomed, best obedience, and we're going to do this little obstacle course behind us.
We've got two lovely little doggies here. Who's this one?
This is Lily, she's my dog.
Okay, and Laura, who have you got? You've got like a wolf there.
This is Eva. This is our shop dog. She's Siberian Husky.
How easy is it to train dogs to get to do things like the dogs you see on the talent shows on TV? Is it easy or takes years of training?
I think sometimes it can depend on the breed. Like you'll see dogs that are collies or border collies used on TV an awful lot. Like when I teach Lily a trick, it usually takes her about maybe 15-20 minutes before she kind of starts to understand what I'm asking her to do, and then after that she generally gets it. But I know some people would struggle an awful lot.
Oh,
Sorry,
tell us all about her.
She's called Luna.
Yeah.
She's a collie Lurcher cross, and she's a year and 4 months.
Okay.
I got her up at Nuts Corner Pound when she was a puppy.
So you were saying that you got her from one of the dog pounds. When you go up there to find a dog and you see all the little dog faces looking up at you, it must be difficult to choose one.
I just pointed because I couldn't. There was 4 puppies, so she got lucky, I suppose.
Okay, so from dogs to humans now, and I'm joined by Ed Sheeran. Hello. Have you had that before?
First time tonight, anyway. Yeah.
Tell us all about Culture Night here at the Sunflower Bar. It's something good for Belfast. It's something good for the bar, isn't it?
It is indeed, and it's one of our busiest nights of the year, and we really relish the fact that, celebrating local culture. We're a bit of a culture hub anyway, so when there's a whole night dedicated to it, we absolutely love it. Love people coming out and enjoying themselves and celebrating Belfast culture, which is really, really lovely.
And of course, the Sunflower Bar, as you mentioned, has become a real culture hub. You've had a large diversity of acts and stuff happening here throughout the week. Tell us about some of the highlights.
Well, this week has sort of been a bit of a quiet one, but in the past we've had all sorts of guys come around. We even had members of the Dubliners down. We really celebrate sort of local musicians. We try and support them as much as possible. One of our heroes is David Brown Murray, and he's going to be playing with Andy McKee. He's a very famous American guitarist later in the month. Sort of the highlights, probably our traditional music scene is really, really good here. We have some fantastic local musicians playing regular week through the week. Our jazz guys are fantastic as well. And just a bit of fun, really,
Brilliant. Yeah. All right. Well, enjoy Culture Night.
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you very much, guys.
Okay, so just give us a quick overview of what's happening today.
Well, as I said, the suppliers are all promoting their products. It's an opportunity to get people to get some free food and free drink, which is always beneficial. But it's also an opportunity for our local suppliers to really showcase what they can do and what products they supply into Tesco. And it's a real good working relationship with each other. it's great for people to come down. There's entertainment as well. It's going to be on. There's the rock climbing. There's road shows. Everything else is going on at the minute.
So we've come inside to talk food, and I'm going to talk to this guy here. This is Ken from the Salty Dog. Ken, tell me first of all, your food is world famous, especially your Scotch eggs.
Absolutely, yes. We had a mention with Sienna Miller on the Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show in America, sort of 3 million audience about 3 or 4 months ago. And since then, we've got nothing but Scotch eggs.
So how did Sienna Miller find out about your Scotch eggs?
Back in 2015, they were filming a film called High Rise in the old leisure centre in Bangor just before it was demolished. Tom Hiddleston was there. It was actually him who became really infatuated with Scotch eggs to the extent we were sending them up there for snacks for him when he was filming. Sienna Miller was also on the crew, and they were in and out a lot. She was then back filming Lost Kingdom of Z late last year, and she stayed in Bangor and came back in and had her Scotch eggs. So that came up as part of the conversation with Jimmy Fallon.
So what's so special about yours? Is there a special ingredient that goes into it?
There's a sort of a blend, sort of the old secret blend of herbs and spices, but it's all about getting the egg in the centre still runny, but having the sausage meat cooked. So when you cut into it, you've got a nice runny, soft-centred egg that sort of makes a sauce for you. And getting that bit, Jimmy Fallon, she was talking about making her Scotch eggs, and she could never get it because the eggs always split on her. So that's what we've got down to a T, and hopefully we're going to show the people here today how to do that.
Great stuff. Tell us about the Salty Dog. It's one of those restaurants that continues to grow and get better and better, doesn't it?
Yeah, we keep trying, and that's down to the guys behind me, the chefs. We keep trying to get young guys in, and we keep working with our local producers, local suppliers. Some at Tesco are doing very well here, but we use people like Whitewater and Jawbox Gin and all the drink suppliers, and then the local producers, Springmount Eggs, Carnbrook Meats, just local guys who are pushing the boundaries of what they do all the time, and that then pushes us on and allows us to keep improving. And
apart from your own restaurant, what do you think about food in Northern Ireland on a whole? Do we do it really well?
We do, and it's getting better all the time. We're just having a discussion with somebody here about an event we did 3 years ago, and it wasn't that well attended. But if we did that event now, we know it would be stowed out. So the events like this, the Year of Food and Drink, the beer suppliers. I was catching up with a blogger, and there's 4 new beer companies coming on in the next sort of 3 or 4 months. And these guys are all pushing the boundaries forward. The meat suppliers, the farmers, everyone's just pushing up the game, and we do have some of the best food in the world.
And the hospitality side of things as well, the way we treat the tourists and stuff when we come here is now becoming world famous too, isn't it?
Absolutely, that's great. I moved over here from England, and we had some friends that came over, and we took a house up on the north coast in February half-term, lashing with rain. We did the Giant's Causeway, we did Ballycastle, we did all those things. And these guys said it was one of the best holidays they'd had, and their kids were raving about it and talking about it much longer than they were talking about a holiday they'd had recently to Florida. And that was made by the people that we met up there.
Ken, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth. I'm about to taste what is possibly the greatest Scotch egg in all of the world. And as he said, nice and runny in the middle. You know what? Myself and Sienna Miller now have something in common. We both agree these are the best Scotch eggs on the planet.
Folks said she'd never be sunk. They never thought they were in for a gunk. Don't blame Billy, Johnny or Sam. Don't blame Hughie or wee Tom. Don't blame us, don't blame me. For Titanic when he flips me.
We've tried Scotch eggs, we've had some sausages, now we're trying golden popcorn. Orla's going to tell us more about this. This is lovely, tell us all about it.
Yeah, so we're just based in Antrim, and we make our popcorn there. We're supplying to lots of different stores in the minute, so Tesco's would be one of our big buyers. We supply to the movie house cinemas as well, so the popcorn you'd get in the movies, that's supplied by us. And we've just moved premises, and we've done a rebrand there last year, so things are really looking up for us. We've completely changed our branding, and we're moved into bigger premises, getting more orders in and getting into more stores across Ireland. So
where did the initial idea come from, and of all the foods in the world, why popcorn?
Well, it was just bought over there maybe 2 or 3 years ago. and our managing director Sean now, he's took it over, and he has just realised the popcorn market's just grown. It's got massive. So we're going out with a few more flavours here coming out soon, and it's become a really diverse wee market, and there's lots of different products on sale. So we're hoping to move into that now. There's lots of gourmet popcorns coming out and new flavours, so that's something that we're really looking forward to launching at the end of this year.
So what's the most popular one? Is it sweet or is it salted?
Well, it used to be sweet, very much so. In the north it's sweet, but if you go down south, everybody seems to go mad for the salted, so we thought that the sweet and salty mix would be a new one for us, so it's actually kicked off the minute. So sweet and salty mix is our latest favourite.
All right, now you mentioned the gourmet range there. What kind of things can we look forward to there?
Well, there's lots of different flavours out at the minute, so we're looking forward to new flavours we'll have on the go. We're looking at sour cream and chilli and cheese, and we've looked at lots of different flavours. There's chocolate and lots of different ones coming out, so we have a few flavours to pick here from, and hopefully by the end of the year they'll be launched.
So we've done food, we're moving on to drink now, and before you tell us about all these beers in front of us here, it's a really good time in Northern Ireland to be involved in the drinks industry, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yes, the craft industry and independence is just booming at the minute. It's growing year on year, definitely.
Okay, tell us all about Whitewater Breweries. How did it all come about?
Whitewater started 1996, so we're one of the originals in Northern Ireland that came about. Started by myself and my husband, and in a family farm. So we started brewing then. One of our ales, we started with Mountain Ale, and now we produce around 14 different types of beer.
Wow, so how did it start? How do you decide, I want to open a brewery?
That happened, we moved, like a lot of young people from Northern Ireland, we moved to England to find work. And there you were open to a lot more varieties of beer, cask conditioned beer, local breweries and stuff like that, things that we hadn't been sort of used to in Northern Ireland, and just fell in love with it. Just got hooked on the different types of varieties of beer and stuff like that. We wanted to come back to Northern Ireland to live, to have a family, and to be back home, and wanted to do something, so we decided to have a go and to do the brewery.
And it's obviously worked all these years later, but was it a struggle in the beginning to get up and running?
It would be a lie to say if it was. It wasn't. So 21 years now. At the start it was very small, and we still had to work. We couldn't give up work, so we both worked, and we had the brewery on as well. The passion kept us going. We wanted to make beer, and we loved doing it, so it kept us going, and we managed to ride the wave now and enjoy the future as it is now. So.
What's your name, sir?
Colin.
Whereabouts are you from, Colin?
I'm from Belfast.
All right. Are you a big beer fan?
Yep. Yeah. I'm going for more craft beers now. That's why I like this Spaggy Sleep. Get away from the normal standard beers. Like to try something different.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Colin, did you enjoy that?
I did indeed, yeah. Thank you very much indeed.
We're going to give you a job. You can be the beer correspondent for NVTV, all right?
No problem, I'll do that then, okay.
Right. Anyway, that was lovely, thank you.
You're welcome, enjoy.
Darren Beckett, how are you, sir?
I'm very good, Robin. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So, welcome home.
Thanks very much. Good to be home. Yeah.
Tell us about the gig tonight. It's a pretty intimate gig.
It's very intimate in one of my favourite venues in Belfast, No Alibis bookstore. Amazing bookstore, and David Torrance is the proprietor of the bookstore. So he puts on a gig maybe once a month, once every few weeks, and Lindley Hamilton, good friend of mine, Dr. Lindley Hamilton, has a lot to do with the organisation and putting the gig together. So. we just try to organise a few gigs in Northern Ireland this weekend. These guys, Ollie Howe Trio, I play with them in Brighton and London, and I just moved to Brighton about a year ago, so yeah.
So do you get back to Belfast much?
I'm going to be back a lot more because I'm actually doing my Masters at Ulster.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I do sort of go between Temple Patrick, so I still have a residence there, and you know, live in Brighton too. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So tell us, how did it all start for you? Why the drums? Of all the instruments in the world, what was it about the drums?
It seemed like the easiest one to play, but then I found out quickly it wasn't. No, my dad used to play drums, and I don't know, it just sort of resonated with me at a young age. Yeah, I just took to it, you know, and that was it. I was like 5 or 6, and you know, in fact, it was just reminiscing earlier with Lindley. We used to play in a brass band together when, many years ago. I was about 10 or 11.
Right.
So yeah, it was just, I think with the school I went to Antrim Grammar School. They had a good music program, and they had a jazz band and orchestra. So I was reading music, and then I was going to John Wilson for lessons. Wow. Who you probably know.
Yeah, of course.
And from there, yeah, just, you know, I left when I was about 16, I suppose.
And what about drumming influences? Who were you listening to? Who were you go, wow, this is a great drummer?
Back then it was Ringo Starr and Keith Moon and people like that, and then I got into heavily into jazz and just sort of focused on that for a long time. Elvin Jones, Tony Williams, Max Roach, Philly Joe Jones.
So when you're on the road with, say, people like Brandon Flowers, what's life like on the road? Is it a complete rock and roll lifestyle out there?
Not very much, no, because we both have families, and you know, I would say my rock and roll lifestyle sort of ended. I had a brief stint at it in my 20s. I was in a band and we were signed and all that, and yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was definitely fun, but no, it's not very rock and roll. It's more like I don't know. We go out for a nice meal. That's like the most rock and roll we get. Maybe have dessert.
So how did the whole relationship and working relationship happen with Brandon?
It was the band that I used to play in, Ambulance Ltd. We were a New York band, and they actually opened up for us before Hot Fuss came out, and which is surprising.
Yeah.
I've witnessed them playing to 5 people in Philadelphia.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
So second tour we were opening up for them, and then they just skyrocketed, and we remained friends. And he called me up. Actually, I was playing No Alibis with Mark McKnight, a great guitar player from Belfast who lives in London, and Brandon called me out of the blue, and he said, "Hey man, I'm doing a solo album. Do you want to put a band together? We're going to record with Daniel Lanois, who's recorded U2 and really great producer. Come out to Vegas, and we're going to record for a couple of months." And then we toured it, and we did it again in 2015 with The Desired Effect, and that time I got a chance to co-write with him on the first single, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah. So you played some pretty big gigs across the world and some great venues as well. Carnegie Hall must have been a dream come true.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one. That was with Madeline Peru, who I've worked with on and off the last 10 years. Yeah, that was amazing. I've just been very fortunate, you know, to play these places.
Yeah. What about anybody in the world you would love to work with?
Van Morrison.
Right.
Would love to play with Van Morrison. Yeah. If he's watching, you know, I'm available.
Well, Darren, it's been great meeting you. Thank you
nice
so
to
much
meet
for
you.
doing this, and have a great gig. Thank you.
Cheers.